We are Onyx Imaging. We are the highest rated and most reviewed printer service center in Oklahoma.
Hi, my name is John with Onyx Imaging. Today we're going to take a look at this Lexmark MX310 printer, and we're going to talk about the common places to find paper jams if you're getting a paper jam error. So the first place I would look is in my paper tray. So I'd remove my paper tray, and I'd actually want to take it all the way out. Make sure you don't see any paper kind of crunched up or curled up inside your paper tray here. And then actually look underneath. Make sure you don't see any paper hanging out underneath the printer here. And if you do, you want to go ahead and remove that. In our case, there's nothing there. So we'll put our paper tray back. Now the next place I'll look is under the imaging unit. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is lower this front cover by pushing this release tab on the right side. Lower this all the way down. Now first we've got to remove our toner cartridge. So you're going to grab the screen handle and slide it straight out. And we can set our toner on a clean, dry, flat surface. Now once you remove the toner cartridge, then you can remove your imaging unit. So we're going to grab the handle that's on your imaging unit and again pull straight out and set that on a clean, dry, flat surface. Now this will allow us to look inside of here and just kind of look over, make sure you don't see any paper sticking anywhere. There's a little green flap here. You can lift it up on the right side and check underneath there. Make sure you're not having any paper poking up through there. Now one thing you want to keep in mind is if you're finding paper somewhere, so if you do find paper in this area, the way paper travels through the printer. So in this case, paper actually comes up through the front of this machine here, goes back, and then comes back out the front. So it makes kind of an S pattern. And the reason I mention that is whenever possible, you want to pull the paper out in the direction that it would normally travel. If you pull it the opposite way, you run a high risk of pulling up against the sensor and possibly breaking a sensor or something else inside the printer, or having that paper rip, and then you end up with a much smaller piece of paper that's much more difficult to get out, jammed somewhere inside of there. So very important, whenever you can, try to pull the paper out in the same direction that it would naturally follow. And again, it would come from your paper tray up through here towards the back of the printer and then back out the top here. So that gives you a general idea of kind of which way you want to pull, and whenever you can avoid it, you always want to avoid pulling against the natural path that the paper wants to follow. So there's nothing here. I don't see anything anywhere underneath here. So the last place I would normally look for a paper jam is going to be on the back of the printer. We'll go ahead and reinstall our imaging unit and our toner. Close the front cover. Now if I turn this around, we're going to lower this rear cover here. There's going to be a little finger groove at the top of the cover. You can lower that down, and you'll want to check and see if there's any paper jammed up around this area. If you have a flashlight, you can kind of point it down in here and double check, make sure there's no paper that's crunched up or wrapped itself around. This would be your fuser here. If you're seeing paper wrapped up around there, then there's a potential there's a much bigger issue. If it's just poking its way out and hasn't come all the way through, it just kind of stopped, then this would be a good spot to just kind of grab it. And again, you'd be able to follow the natural path of the paper and pull it out this way, and you won't be having to worry about hurting anything. So those are the three most common places that I would look for. Again, that's the paper tray, under the imaging unit, or back here by the fuser in the rear of the machine. If you're not finding it there, there's a chance that it's either crumpled up, it could have been the fuser, maybe just really hard to see, or you have a fragment of paper somewhere inside the printer, or a defective or broken sensor somewhere inside the printer. So if that didn't help you find your paper jam and you're still having issues, please give Onyx a call. We'd love to help try to take care of that jam problem for you. Other than that, we hope you have a great day and you're back in printing. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. If you're interested in how you can receive free labor on all of your service calls, as well as how to qualify for free printer upgrades, contact us today. We are here for all of your printer and office supply needs.